Welcome, Luke.
Yay! Thanks so much for coming on.
Of course.
Just a brotherly thing.
Yeah, anything for my sister.
You're only here because you're obligated
Yeah,
to.
no,
You have to be here.
Yeah.
It's a Tuesday night, and this morning I said to Luke, "Will you please be on my podcast tonight?" He said, "I like my suitcase."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said sure.
Yeah, exactly. He actually said, "Okay," no exclamation point, no anything.
Yeah, okay, in the
I
most
love how excited
monotone
you are.
voice.
But
Okay.
honestly, every time I see you say you listen to the pod.
I
so
do listen to the
we love a
pod.
supporter.
Well,
Just so I can critique Jordan.
Yeah,
No, that's
better.
like, well, I think it's like nice. I'm like, I would
Yeah,
like
I'm trying
to
to
get
make
some,
sure
like,
it's like quality.
Yeah.
absolutely, especially at these beginning stages. I'd rather
Exactly.
like get all of the shit done now than like have to deal with it 3 months down the line.
Yeah.
especially because so much of our equipment does come from Luke.
Yes, thank you, Luke.
You're welcome. Yes, thank you.
He grew up wanting to be in film, and today he is achieving his dreams. He works in production at a production company.
Yeah, do you
Yeah.
want to expand a little bit more on like what
What I
you do,
do.
how you got there?
In the future.
It's interesting. I do a lot of different things. My job is not necessarily like go produce a movie. Like it's a lot of like support. But there are moments where it is like go produce a movie, which is fun. But like half the job is like failure. Like that's what I'll start off by saying is like half of what I do is like 90%. No, probably more than that. Like 90% of the time of what I do is like failing all the time.
How
And like
so?
have everyone at the company. Oh, because like getting a movie made is borderline impossible. Convincing a studio or anyone to give you like millions of dollars to go produce something is like a feat of enormous proportions that like I don't think a lot of people appreciate. But like, so yeah, a lot of the stuff we've tried to get made doesn't ever get made.
Right.
And like that's why we'll be dusting off project. We have a project we're like trying to package right now that's like 20 years old, and like it's like
you
this
come back to the projects that
sometimes. I mean, if
Okay.
it's like a funny enough idea.
Yeah.
So like yeah, like this one's kind of like a new take and like a story like kicking and screaming.
Got it.
And but like you read it and it's like so 2005. And it's like, oh, cannot if you put this in the theater today, like
right.
you'd be absolutely crucified. Back to the question, what I do. So I work for a producer at a production company. But that entails a lot because it's like not a production company. A lot of them are like not necessarily corporate entities, so there's no HR. So like on top of being this guy's assistant, like which entails a lot of just supporting him and making movies and like getting to work on some really awesome projects and having everything from just like getting coffee to like
Yeah.
planning shoots and like planning chem reads for actors and just making anything that needs to happen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my job is just to like just a facilitator of sorts.
What did you study in college?
I studied business of film. So I went to USC, which is in a very like specific program called the Business of Cinematic Arts program. It's a very pretentious name, but
So
I
you
need to
knew
say
that
it.
this is like your
Yeah.
goal.
Well, I've known I
was-
wanted to work in film since I was like 8. Like I started making short films with Legos when I was like 8 years old.
You
Yeah.
witnessed
And-
this?
No, like I said, this is where I got all the equipment.
Yeah.
This is what growing up, that's what he asked for Christmas was film equipment.
I would go to like my old like elementary school, like for example, like that's where I got half my old like my free like equipment because I got it for free.
Oh,
So like I went to
hey.
places that like I had been like a pupil and like
Yeah.
had mentors there, and I just happened to show up one day where they're like, actually, we're getting rid of like the film class. You guys, we want like any of this stuff, and I was
No
like, I'll
way.
take all of it. Yeah, but anyways, I've always wanted to work in film, and so I've always kind of like cultivated those relationships with teachers, and that's how I've always been able to like score free stuff and
Nice.
working on set, like being the kid.
Yeah.
If you're the youngest person anywhere, like people like to be nice to you. So like I've been on sets as PA where like at the end of the shoot, a gaffer will just be like, here's all my gels I'm not using. And it's like, what? And it's like thousands of dollars worth
Wow.
of stuff that they're it's all expendable stuff. So like they're just gonna throw it away anyways, like
Right.
cut gels and stuff
So
like
you
that.
always wanted to be behind the scenes,
I
though.
always wanted to be behind the scenes. I
Okay.
never, I acted. I'm like, I
Because I was
have,
gonna say she was interested in it, so I'm
Yeah.
curious if that was similar to what you were interested in.
no, I mean, like, not that I didn't have the opportunities to do it. Like, I'm SAG eligible. Like, I've been in a feature film.
Fun.
I've done the acting thing. I just don't like, the, I don't like auditions. I don't like the audition process. I just don't like having to put myself out there and deal with all that just anxiety of it. I'm not that, I mean, obviously I'm fine failing. I'm fine with like rejection, but like I don't know, it just don't I'm a little bit of like a control freak. Like I don't love that word, but like
No, I get it.
yeah, I
Same.
don't like being told what to do. So that's I think why I like being the producer because
Yeah.
I literally am the top of the totem pole in terms of
Nice.
that world. So I don't know. I enjoy like having the big like the greater vision and just like kind of having a top down view and really being involved in all processes. That's what I really enjoy about like making a movie is like kind of doing everything. So like as a producer, you kind of do that. Like
Yeah.
you're in every meeting. You're hiring the head of departments. You're like overseeing. You're I mean you're not like sometimes you're giving notes on the creative, but like a lot of times you get to just be part of the process and help facilitate it, and that's a really rewarding thing for me.
It does feel nice when like you've been a part of a project that
Oh, yeah.
you've seen like been put together from the ground up.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And
It's
'cause,
my
like,
favorite part.
You don't think about all the like if every project that's like been put together, like there's like all these other people that have like assistants making lists and stuff. Like I don't know, I feel some um possession over like some films. Like I didn't like actually produce them or like do anything really on it, but like putting actor lists together and
You were a part of it.
yeah, like I
Yes, yeah.
brainstormed, I helped put this all
Yep.
together, like having your ideas picked for that. It's like, oh dude, like I helped make this movie. And like
Yeah.
I have a credit on the film. Like it's
That's
fun.
awesome.
So
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
great.
It's really fun. I really
Yeah.
enjoy what I do. It's just like at the end of the day when it's like really tough, I just kind of be like, pardon the cliche, but I'm literally living the dream right now. Like I'm like
You're
out
living
here.
your dream. This is
Yeah,
what you've
I'm doing what I always
wanted
wanted to
to
do.
That's so cool.
So like even when it's like a crappy day and I'm just kind of like screamed at by someone and it's just like, fuck, what the hell am I doing? Like, why am I still doing this? I'm like, well, half the population would swap places with me, I'm sure. Like just to work in Hollywood, it's like a dream gig. So
Yeah. That's
I
super
don't
cool.
take it for granted. It's awesome. It's
That's
really
nice.
fun.
Yeah, we're talking about what we're thankful for since this is coming out on Thanksgiving.
I'm thankful for all the opportunities I've had and the ability that what I've been able to achieve to get to this point. Like it's been very lucky in my career.
Hmm.
I've had a lot of like right place, right time moments, which I can't like I don't know. I just got lucky. Like a lot of like I don't know. I worked hard and knew the right people and was able to like impress the right folks to keep them wanting me to come around. Like
But I'm sure you're talented and educated and like had
I
the
just
skills
do
to
my
do
best.
it, so that helps.
Yeah.
That and even in areas where you might lack, you have the confidence to make up for it.
Yeah, I mean it's funny. I was with a bunch of colleagues the other day and we were like I helped coach my boss's son's football team and so we all were one of my other buddies coaches another team in the league and so we all went out to dinner afterwards just like my colleagues to just hang and like they were all drinking and we were all talking and they're like what's your favorite quality about yourself or something like that and like mine was like overwhelming optimism.
Yeah.
And I
That's
feel
a
like
great
that
quality to have.
has really helped me in my career or just life in general. Because like I just assume I will figure it out. And I don't ever really I'm like, okay, well, I've always kind of figured it out. Like it's just I've never really like had it all fall apart. There's been a couple moments where it's like, okay, this is really fucked up and I can't fix it. But like most of the time if I like put my head to it and like just really think about it, I can figure it out.
It is a personality trait.
Yeah, it's like just having that confidence to be like, oh, I can do it. Like I don't know, if you ask me to like I probably wouldn't do like brain surgery, but up to that, like I could probably
poke around a little.
Probably not. I mean, like give me a bone saw and like maybe I can figure it out. Like no, this looks a little weird.
Give me an ice pick.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, does that hurt?
Can you still read? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, like I don't know. Like it's at the end of the day, I do a lot of things, and I've realized a lot of skills people assume are very difficult are actually very simple at the end of the day, and they just require a lot of like specialized knowledge to understand that. So like I don't know, I do a lot of like woodworking and stuff, and like
And
in
gardening.
gardening and things like that.
I
But
love
like,
your little garden.
oh yeah, thank you. And but it's fun. And it's like it's not that complicated at the end of the day. Like it's if
But
you
people
really
struggle to keep plants alive.
no, I know, and it's very. I don't want to like discourage. Like it can be very hard, and
Yeah.
like you have to know what you're doing. But like once you know, if you've done a little bit of research and understand like the soil you should have your plants in, and like be like just do a
I
little of
think
that
a lot of
research.
people tend to try to cut corners.
Yeah, exactly. People don't. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a matter of like just ignorance and just not having like the resources to understand what you need to know for that stuff,
And
because it's
also
hard.
just lack of effort.
Yeah,
I
that
feel
too.
like,
That's too.
especially in LA, I feel
Yeah.
like people think that things will just come to them and that
True.
like
Yeah.
it'll just show up because they look a certain way or they know a certain person, and like you can't expect that you're gonna actually succeed in that career
Yeah,
if you don't put in the effort.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, but like I was just saying this to Raven too about like how quality I admire about you is the fact that you are a doer. Like
Yeah.
you don't just say you're gonna do something, you actually do it. Like gardening, when you were a kid and you wanted to be like interested in like surgery, you were dissecting like random animals. Like
Well,
you
that seems a
when you
little.
just
Yeah, we don't need to get too into
Yeah,
but
those.
like they were
Serial killer
meant to be,
vibes.
they were meant to
Yeah.
be sessions
Okay.
ordered from a website.
Yeah, like we just to clarify for my own sanity,
Yeah.
if they don't cut this out of the podcast, I used to my mom used to order me like dissection animals. Like I wasn't picking shit off the street. Like
You were
this
you
was like
roadkill off.
lab grade
Okay.
stuff that like
What was the craziest animal that you did?
a fetal pig.
Okay, I did a cat in high school.
That's pretty wild. I couldn't do cat. I
did
thought a pig was
absolutely
I did a
insane.
fun.
cat, and they were like apparently cats that like died in
They probably put it down and they were like, "Here's a cat."
Yeah, and then one
yeah, you
time
love
somebody
cats,
got a
yeah.
pregnant cat.
Oh yeah, that's what they sell
That was
those too.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I was
Jordan's
some
like,
people.
stop the cat
No, there was
genocide.
people in my
Stop the violence.
Yeah, exactly.
in
Yeah.
my high schools that would like fully like throw up, and then like they could do a paper. I think if they couldn't like do
Got
it.
Yeah,
Fun.
that tracks.
Yeah.
My high school, you want to know what we dissected?
What?
Chicken wings.
No,
Nice.
you didn't.
Like literally from the grocery store.
no.
By the way, I want to
How is
clarify.
that even a thing?
I never dissected anything in a
Oh,
educational
wait, so what
setting.
made you want to dissect these?
I just
afterwards?
thought it was. I wanted to be a doctor until I.
agency.
Yeah.
okay.
He wanted to be
Yeah,
a
yeah.
doctor.
That makes
I wanted to be a
sense.
doctor, and like, even when I was doing doing film, I still had an interest in like the science medical aspect. It wasn't until I was probably in my teens where I was like, I'm really gonna work in film. Like this.
Yeah.
My
like,
favorite part about that is that your mom was like fully okay with being like,
Oh,
let me
yeah.
just order you guys.
Dude, she ordered me like a full like. I think in elementary school. Yeah, it was definitely in elementary school. But she got me like a full like high school grade like dissection kit with like a scalpel and everything, and just
Yeah.
trusted me not to cut my
freak.
fingers
I love
off.
her.
I was with it. I'm like, this is dope.
Oh
Wife
my
made an amazing
gosh.
spaghetti squash
Yeah.
like chicken bake thing. See the recipe on
Ooh.
TikTok at Bianca Trester at
Look at that,
Bianca
already
Trester.
shouting out his wife,
Yeah.
which we will transition into this
Please
now.
do.
Yeah.
I want the full breakdown. How did you meet her?
Okay.
What was like how long? Because we were just talking about like how long to be like dating somebody to like getting engaged to like being married. Did you have an expectation of like when you thought you'd be married? Because
Yeah.
I'd also like to say he is younger than I am, and so it is crazy just like hearing everyone's journey and like their relationships because it's so fascinating to me.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely not planned. Like, not that it wasn't planned. Like,
I feel like
obviously
those are
it
the
was
best
planned.
Case scenario.
I mean, there was a bit of spontaneity to it.
Okay.
I always thought I was going to get married when I was like 40. Like, my dad didn't.
Really?
Yeah, my dad didn't have kids until he was like 40, and I was like, will be the like. I never had a girlfriend until I met Bianca. Like a
She's your
long,
first girlfriend.
actual like girlfriend, like
Not
real
high
relationship.
school.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
a
well,
long
but,
term
like,
serious.
longer than 3 months.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was gonna
Whoa.
just be like a perpetual bachelor until I was like 40, and just like,
crazy.
yeah. And I mean, I was definitely, I was not a fuck boy by any means, but like I just wasn't monogamous and like
Isn't it
didn't.
so funny how like people can just change their
I
minds?
know. They meet the
Yeah.
right person and
I
everything.
Yeah, well,
know.
that's
the craziest
what
part.
it was, and like also part of it was COVID too.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Um,
when and how did you meet her?
So I met Bianca on Tinder during the pandemic.
Okay, we just in our last episode talked about how Tinder is the #1 dating app.
Yeah.
I thought Tinder was dead.
That's what we thought.
We thought that
Really?
the study said that I forget exactly how many, but I think it was like somewhat of 70% of young people that have tried a dating app have tried Tinder.
Well,
Yes.
I think that I definitely believe that statistic
Yeah.
because it just has the brand recognition.
Yes.
But I mean, from like an actual like meet a person standpoint,
Like for a serious
like I'm pretty
something.
sure from what I understand, not that I've been using Tinder, but
But you met her on Tinder.
I met her on Tinder, but this was like 4 years ago now, like
How
almost
many
4 years
apps
ago.
were you on at that time?
Just maybe Tinder and maybe Bumble. I forget if
Okay.
I was using Bumble. Bumble is like I hate Bumble. Bumble sucks. Bumble just algorithm just sucks. Like you don't get
Mm.
any like I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't get a single person I found attractive shown
Okay.
to me.
Yeah.
And I matched with one person on there that I actually vibed
very
with.
similar.
Yeah.
Who knows? When you were on these dating apps, was your intention for hookup culture, or was it more of like I'd be open to a long-term relationship?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
It was a little bit like definitely hookup cult. Like I was just I was in college.
Yeah,
Like I was
you're
just
young.
hooking up, having a good time.
Yeah.
But there was definitely like a part of me where it was like, oh, if I met the right person, like I'd
Be open.
be open to a
Okay.
relationship and like
Mhm.
having a long-term thing. Pandemic happened, and then it was like nobody. And then I was like watching Jordan in a relationship with her like
Right.
current boyfriend at that time, and I was like, the fuck am I doing? And I'm like the people, all my friends in college were like gone. Like I know like it's COVID, like you don't
Yeah.
talk to anyone. And it sucked. I was like I was like peaking in college. I was like the man. Like
Yeah.
I was literally right before the pandemic. I was like asked like 3 girls on dates. Most of them had said yes. Like we were
Yeah.
all gonna get together after the 2 weeks.
Right.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Flash forward 3 years or whatever,
Right.
and I'm like, my hair is down to here. I look like a slob. I'm
Yeah,
playing
he
Call of
refused to cut his
Duty.
hair all of the
No, I did
pandemic.
not that I refused. Like, who's gonna cut my hair? Like, Jordan could have. No one offered to cut my hair. I thought I
Cut
looked
men's
fine.
hair.
I thought no one
You
told me I
learned
looked.
during the pandemic.
Well, no, you weren't going anywhere.
I wasn't going anywhere, but I also looked awful, and no one told me this. No one was like, "Oh, Luke, yeah, your hair makes you look like a serial killer who's gonna like." I look like Buffalo Bill. I look like an anemic Pablo Escobar. Like it was like so bad.
Yeah.
Your hair
And-
does look so much better now,
Yeah,
I have to say.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I would say like guys, for some reason, hair is make or break.
Yeah.
It really is.
It really is.
Well, I don't know. I had a whole thing with my hair too, because like I'm pretty sure I don't know if I was losing my hair or if I wasn't, because I realized after I like had this whole like hair loss scare that it may have actually been like a factor of my jaw surgery, because my hairstylist at the time was like, oh yeah, like if your body is healing, it's gonna divert resources. So I'm like, oh, maybe that makes sense, because I had like a major injury, like
Oh.
I had like both my jaws cut in half. So like
Whoa.
that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but what were we talking about?
We're talking about your wife
Yeah,
and how
so
you
my
met her.
wife.
So you matched with her.
I matched with her on Tinder.
Yep.
Okay. So, but yeah, it was at that point like coming out of the pandemic. This is my headspace. I hadn't had sex with anyone in 3 years.
3 years?
Pretty much. Well, since the beginning of the pandemic. So maybe 2 years, 2.5 years.
I thought you guys met in like 2021.
We did, but then the pandemic started in
2020.
Beginning of 20, very beginning of 2020. Or end of 2019 is kind of like
2020. I was on lockdown starting in like March of 2020.
Yep.
A year to a
Yeah.
year and a half.
Yeah.
After, but
It
also
felt like 3
it felt
years.
like 3 years. I don't know. It felt like a long time. I hadn't had that long of a time where I hadn't like had a sexual partner
Yes.
since I was in like high school and I was in like 8th grade
Yeah.
or like 9th grade.
Since
like,
ages like 0 to 15.
yeah, like 0 to 15. Like, but like I mean, I had a pretty active sex life from like 16 to now. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
so.
Well, till then.
Until then, yes, and then the
Well,
pandemic is
Now
upon.
too, I would hope.
But okay, so that's just to give you some of my headspace. I had been dating a girl before I met Bianca that I met at USC, and we had been like also met on Tinder, had just been kind of like
Damn,
vibing.
Tinder really worked for
Tinder,
you.
I had great odds on
Same,
Tinder.
Tinder worked when
Oh
I was
my
at
god, I
USC.
had so many girlfriends from Tinder. I had
shit.
well, also just like great like hookups from Tinder.
No
I had a
way.
great friends with benefits in high school from Tinder. I like it was great.
I tried Tinder post breakup this last time. Horrible experience.
Really?
So it's 2024.
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
era. This was when like Tinder was like really the only thing. Like when I was 18, I met this like 21-year-old on Tinder, and like that was crazy. Like and but like it was like
What was your age range when you were swiping during?
oh like probably my like 18 because I was 18, like 18 to like 29 or 30 maybe.
He's always been into older women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
Bianca older or younger?
No, she's actually like she's my age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
like yeah. But anyways, okay, so my headspace. Hadn't been with a girl
Yep.
in a year. Was dating this girl who was like refused. We'd been on like multiple dates, and we'd been sleeping in the same bed, and like refused to like touch me, and it was so frustrating.
That's
And then
Jesus.
but then
weird.
like
It's like 3 years in.
yeah, it was so weird. It was anyway. That was a whole nother story. And then I like matched with Bianca on Tinder, and she's like the hottest girl I've ever seen in my life.
I remember you showing me her profile and being like, look how hot this girl
I was
is.
like, this girl is like way too hot for me. I can't believe she matched me on Tinder. We start like having a great conversation.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like, this is just a hookup right now. Like
Yeah, you didn't know what the
I didn't know what the vibe was at
Yeah.
all. And I'm like, I am gonna smash the hottest girl on Tinder. Like this is crazy.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's just totally my type.
Yeah.
But then it was crazy though, because I got like shadow banned on Tinder for saying that I had a COVID vaccine.
Oh.
And so like I put that in my bio, and then the next day like she disappeared and I disappeared,
Uh-oh.
and I didn't get any matches, and like we couldn't find each other, and I had to like delete Tinder, and then it like
Wait, so
reset.
you didn't know her like Instagram or anything?
No,
at
we
the
just
point?
we just been texting through Instagram or through Tinder.
That's scary.
So then like she'll tell it too that she like freaked out too because she lost it. Then I reset my Tinder, and she popped up back at the top.
Oh my
and
god.
immediately I'm like, yo, I don't know what's Tinder's fucked up. Give me your number.
Yeah.
And then from there we just kept talking, and
And this was
like,
in 2020.
this is 2021 in like
Okay.
in like March.
Okay.
Yeah.
March or April. Our anniversary is like March 5th, 2021.
Okay.
And then like so that was we had a great couple first dates, and then I was about to get jaw surgery too. So like part of my thinking was like I should get a girlfriend to like I'm gonna have a.
Can I say, fun fact? He got his double jaw surgery on my 21st birthday.
Yes.
He couldn't let me have that.
No.
He scheduled it. They gave him a few
I
days
thought it'd
to
be
go,
funny.
Make that one.
I thought it'd be really funny. I thought it was like good. Like it'd be.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
it's
I had
funny.
2 people to celebrate my birthday.
I
with.
actually didn't even think about it. It wasn't intentional at all. But yeah, but like also like we were dating for like a couple weeks, and I was like, "You want to be my girlfriend?" Because like, and she said, "Yeah." It was really cute. We were at a party.
They just got along great.
No.
We got along really well, and also I was like, "No one's gonna talk to me for 2 months, as my face is gonna look like a fucking like it's gonna be so swollen." So she saw me. I look crazy, and then she's like gonna make me dinner, and so she makes me this soup, but no one told her. Nor did they really tell me that I was supposed to eat spicy food. And she made me this like spicy tomato soup, but I'm like starving too because this is the first time she's seen me. I got surgery a week before this day. Like,
and your jaw's wired shut.
my jaw's not wired shut,
no.
but it's super
pretty much
painful,
Yeah,
and I have
yeah.
like rubber bands sticking out of like screws that are
Oh my god.
sticking out of my gums. But so she comes over to make me this soup. I'm in a horrible mood. I've been eating liquid out of a ketchup bottle for like
That's
7
what I
days.
mean. A girl could see that and be like, "Fuck this! Like, I'm not
Yeah,
doing this. Like,
I don't
he
know.
fucking sucks. Like, I'm not gonna do this anymore."
She literally should have, because like I was like yelling at her in my kitchen, being like, "Give me the fucking soup! I'm so hungry!" And she's like trying to strain it for me because it won't fit through the ketchup bottle.
Aw.
And then I get this like pure like liquid, just like soup water, because it's been through like a strainer, but it's like spicy as fuck, and like I have all these like these stitches in my mouth that are just on fire. And
Damn.
I'm like we're watching like Army of Thieves, or what is it, Army of the Dead had just come out, like the Zack Snyder
a good
zombie
one.
movie. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah, I like that.
But I'm like on my sofa with my girlfriend of like 2 weeks and my dad, and I'm like crying watching this movie, trying to eat this soup because it's like so painful. And she's like, "What the fuck have I done?" I have like ice packs on my face, like, like but I'm like my tears coming down. Yeah, it was bad. So that was like our second, like our first date. That was like our
second date.
No, that was like our I was like a boyfriend girlfriend. Like that was our first like boyfriend girlfriend.
Oh my god!
Or maybe like
He's a
second, yeah.
fucking trooper.
But that's what
Yeah.
I mean is like when you know that somebody could like handle that.
Yeah. Well, I also knew that she was like, or like,
Oh,
I told her I loved her like really early in the relationship because I think I just knew that I
He
did.
has a Cancer moon. If anyone was curious.
My Cancer sun.
But like,
no, he's a sensitive boy.
yeah, I'd say so. Yes, sometimes I can be.
Yeah,
Um,
Leo sun offsets it.
But
Hmm.
this is funny, and I don't know if I ever admitted this to Bianca, so I'm now admitting it. Or maybe I have.
To the pod.
But
tell her directly.
When I asked her to be my girlfriend, I like was blackout drunk, and I didn't remember it until the next morning. And like
You remembered it.
I kind of did because
Yeah.
she goes, "Do you remember what you said to me last night?" And I
Oh.
was like, "Do you want to be my girlfriend?" And I had to pretend like I knew what she was talking about for a
Yeah.
sec, but yeah.
It was
But
in your subconscious that you knew that you were going to do that.
But yeah, it's
Wow.
a funny little tidbit.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
It worked out
Wait,
because
so-
3 years later we got married.
Yeah, so
like,
you were engaged. When did you get engaged?
Coachella 2022, you both came up to me and said, "What if we got married?" And you had been together for maybe a year at that point.
well, that was probably the Molly talking.
Okay.
That'll do it.
And I said, "You've known her for a year. I've been with my, at the time, boyfriend for 2.5 years. I don't even know if I want to marry this motherfucker.
Listen,
you need
I
time."
proposed to Bianca at Coachella.
Right.
Who cares? Like
Yeah.
it
was Coachella.
It was like
Okay.
a bit. We were just like really practical about it, and we were like, we should probably get married. And like,
Yeah.
we talked about it for a bit, and then we were like, yeah, let's do it. And so then but we also like wanted to have like a real like
Wedding.
we wanted like proposal and everything.
Oh yeah.
But, like,
how
it
did
was-
you propose to her?
So it's fun. First of all, we because she knew, she got to design her engagement ring,
Okay,
so that was
that's
really
a
fun.
hot take of the episode is I think women should be able to pick out what ring they want.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like,
I've had friends.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be shown like given a ring that like I will not love and appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
We befriended a personal jeweler on Larchmont.
yes, shout out Victoria,
Incredible.
the best.
And yeah, Bianca was able to go through her.
Yeah, so
I
Bianca,
think
she
it's
like
amazing.
negotiated for this really nice diamond and everything for us, and like didn't even charge us for the medal on the band. Like she's awesome. She's
Yeah.
the best.
Oh.
Love you, Victoria.
Please everyone go buy
Victoria
her.
Duke Creations.
Yes, at Larchmont Farmers Market on
Yeah.
Sundays.
And Wednesdays.
Yeah. We've modeled our relationship a little bit on our friend. We have really good friends who just had their first child.
Aw.
Shout out Ernie and Monica.
Shout out Ryder.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the girl that was pregnant at the party?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, they had their baby.
They had their baby,
little
yeah.
baby
Oh,
boy.
congrats.
But I've always kind of like, or Bianca and I have kind of modeled our relationship on them a little bit, and like Monica designed her ring and all that, and
okay.
yeah, and so like yeah, and then you just,
Pretty.
I don't know, they're
So how
like, a
long
couple
from engagement
role models for us.
to your wedding?
I proposed in June. The wedding was in August. So quick.
I mean, they knew they were going to get married before
Wait.
that.
June to
So
yeah,
can
how
I
is that
explain?
even possible?
They
'cause I'm a fucking producer, and I produced
mean,
the shit out of
that's
this wedding.
fucking true.
I literally
Yeah.
just called I like just negotiated. I'd
like
spent.
venue. Well,
Yeah.
I guess venue was at your.
It was at my parents' beach
Yeah,
house.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got our neighbor
okay,
to let us
yeah,
use their
yeah.
deck, and that was awesome, and they're the best.
How big was your wedding?
Like 70 people.
Yeah, it's a good amount.
Yeah.
It
yeah.
was big.
Yeah.
And I
it's
just
good.
like straight up, like my mom helped, which was nice. It was
Yeah.
very helpful.
Who's
and-
also very type A, very
yeah.
producer
So she and I like literally just produced this, and like Bianca obviously helped. She designed everything,
That's cool.
and like that was awesome.
How'd she get a
made-
wedding dress in that point?
She
Poshmarked it.
she postmarked it. Yeah.
way.
got
I
this-
showed her my ways and
Yeah.
she found the most beautiful, perfect wedding dress for an amazing deal.
That's crazy.
and then
was
we took
awesome.
it to the tailor and she got it perfectly.
amazing. Wow.
Yeah, so we did this. I'm really proud of how little we spent on this wedding because, like, we did this sick
Good
wedding and
for
spent
you.
less than $10,000
Oh,
on a
wow.
70-person wedding that was like
Gorgeous.
yeah, tons
Yeah.
like full flower arrangements. We had like
Open
a
bar.
3-course dinner. Yeah,
Wow.
open
How is that
bar.
possible? Just friends of friends and
no, just like being smart with your vendors. Like I
Yeah.
don't know, like
And how about what
negotiating.
venue paid for?
Yeah, and like
the
reading.
venue is a huge portion.
Yes, the venue is that's the most important thing. Was like
Yeah.
that was just
So was it a
nice.
beach wedding?
Yeah, it was a beach wedding. It was
Okay.
right on the beach.
Nice.
Well, on the deck.
On the
above
deck.
Okay,
But then
okay.
we walked right down onto the beach after. We had like a fire pit and
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
literally lost my wedding ring after the ceremony in the ocean because I
God.
jumped
It was just
in.
a temporary ring, right? That one?
Yes,
Oh,
but
thank
it was
God.
still had a lot of meaning. I should not have
Yeah.
lost it.
Yeah.
But I got a great new one made on my honeymoon, which is
Yay.
sick. Yeah, and I think I like a lot of the success of it though is just like I'm like so detail oriented and like just
Yeah.
it's all about just like doing what I do in my job, just like
Right.
making shit happen and
That was
facilitating
really
stuff.
nice that you were actively a part of it because I feel like a lot of
Oh
times
yeah, you gotta be.
the bride to be is in charge of
Yeah.
everything and the husband kind of just is like, yes, sure, fine, whatever you want. Like they don't do anything.
Yeah, well, for me, it was really important to have like all I cared about was good food and good alcohol. That's
Okay.
all I wanted.
What was the type of food that you ended up choosing?
We got we did paella, which I think is like the best
Ooh.
wedding meal because it's just like cool and like they make it in front of everybody, so like it just
Yeah.
looks cool. And then everyone just it's easy like the face style or like you can serve it up on plates, but
Nice.
And they have like different options.
and it's
They have,
unique.
like shellfish, they
Yeah.
have shellfish and meat, and then they have like vegetarian.
Okay.
So
But
very
it's
cool.
perfect.
the presentation is just sick.
Yes.
And like
Yeah.
who cares about eating at a wedding? Like sure, like it's
Yeah.
nice to have a good meal at a wedding, but like it's like a cool show and they're like
Yeah.
doing it and they I don't know, it was fun and they had a full bar and
Very cool.
yeah.
Did you go on an
Honeymoon?
honeymoon?
Yeah, I went to Maui for a week.
Nice.
So our friends gifted
Love
us
Maui.
their estate in Maui. We stayed
Aw.
there on like the volcano and we rented a
So
Bronco.
good.
Convertible Bronco, and we drove around the island for a week and it was awesome.
Ugh, a dream.
It looked like
Yeah.
such a lovely trip.
It
You
was
came back
phenomenal.
so tan. Bianca came back so burnt.
Yes, indeed.
Her Austrian skin.
That's a perfect couple.
Yeah.
One that burns and one that tans.
Yeah.
So that was a blast.
Yeah.
Nice.
Take me back, please.
I couldn't have asked you to pick a better woman to join our family,
Thank
honestly.
you. I'm glad you think so. She's great. I mean,
Yeah, she's great.
She's I mean, I don't know what to say. She's the best. That's why I
You are
married
so
her. I love
lucky.
her.
She's also a talented artist.
She's very talented in a lot of aspects of
Yeah.
life. Yeah. No, she's a great person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like that's another reason why I think I married her is like going from having such like a 180 of like I'm not gonna get married till I'm this age or whatever, and now I'm like maybe we're having kids in like 4 or 5 years. Like it's like
Yeah.
like this is the person I think I want to have spend the rest of my life with, and like you have to, I don't know. I think when you're dating, you really have to have like an open mind,
Yeah.
unless you're just like
Yeah. What's your dating advice that you would give during this time?
Yeah.
what?
Any singles.
To any singles?
Oh man, I mean the dating street like. I feel like dating is so weird now. Like compared, like I feel like COVID or the pandemic splits our like dating society in half. Like if you look right before COVID, dating apps were like they were a thing, but they weren't what they are now.
Yeah.
Like Hinge was like just becoming a thing, and then, but like I feel like I would definitely be picking up girls at bars. Like I feel like that
More in
doesn't
person.
really happen now.
Yeah.
Like from what I hear from my
Yeah.
friends who are like dating, like you don't approach people, which is like crazy to me.
Yeah.
Because like that's the most success I ever had was like just walking up to women at bars and just being like, "Hey, how's it going? Like just
Yeah.
how's your night going? Blah, blah, blah. Can I buy you a drink? Like whatever the fuck, like comment on their shoes or whatever's going on.
Yeah.
Something I don't know. But now I guess you don't do that. In terms of like actual dating advice, don't stick around for the bullshit, and unless I'm gonna really formulate this because I'm not really sure what I'm going with it. I mean, like, I'm just trying to think back at moments in my relationship where it's like I stuck through it and it was worth it. I mean, like, I really
Like, don't just X-nay people immediately.
yeah. I mean, like, there's been moments where I'm just like, especially early on in the relationship, I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking what the fuck am I doing? I'm out of here. Like,
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah.
And I've had moments like that, and then like when I realized that like, oh, maybe this is final, I've been like, what the fuck am I doing?
Mm.
Kind.
Be
Be
kind.
kind, everybody.
Yeah.
What a very wholesome, lovely note to
Yeah.
end our Thanksgiving episode on.
Yes.
And Luke, we so appreciate you taking time of your Tuesday night.
My
I know
pleasure.
you came
Yes.
post work, post drinks,
I
and you haven't
know.
even had a chance to like go home and eat the delicious brisket Bianca made.
I actually
Wow.
did. It was really good.
Okay, yeah.
He
Well,
prioritized
I
that,
had
as he
to eat,
should.
yeah, I was like, I'm not gonna be able to do an hour of talking.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
And
Do you want to plug anything?
oh yeah.
Give your socials, what you do for work.
I don't know.
Just
My work
Luke
stuff.
Trester.
Luke Trester. Follow my wife on TikTok. She's trying to become really big right now. Bianca Trester.
She just started.
At
She's
Bianca
her
Trester.
videos look awesome. Like everything else she does. Like she's aesthetically very talented.
Yeah, she's
So-
very
Okay.
good. If you like nails, makeup, cooking, or like interior design, I think that's one thing. Other thing she's gonna do. You should watch her TikToks. It's
Or
gonna
real
be great.
estate.
Or real estate too. Buy a house from her. Watch out for cattle kids. I don't know.
Yeah,
Nice.
cattle kids.
Cattle kids. That's the one thing we didn't talk about today. But
I
yeah.
know. Well, I told Bianca that she's gonna have a turn, and then you two will have to come and give a life
Sure.
update.
Yeah.
at some
Probably
point.
won't talk about cattle kids at that point, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, cattle kids. Look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, or don't.
Okay.
Okay, thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Bye, guys.
Thank you, Luke, everyone.